occupancy is really high these days.
Yeah, there.
So I'm guessing it's
there's Main
super
Street again.
insulated.
Main Street again, yeah.
This is this boulevard from the palace to the
Yeah.
church.
No, not from the palace to the church. This is the one going down the center of town to the palace. This is Peter and Regina's backyard.
The courtyard, yeah.
Yeah. The house is kind of in the shape of a square with an opening in the middle. So they live in the building on the left. And this is Schwerin, weren't we?
That looks like Schwerin,
Yeah, we're walking down. I think that church, they had a demonstration there.
I was
before the
just
fall
going
of
to
the
say,
wall.
I put this in because your caption talks about how, is it Peter and Regina? Had lit candles and been part of
That demonstration.
demonstrations here.
Yeah.
This is the courtyard of the city hall where the local children had been. There had been a poster contest or something, and we had kind of a picnic supper there one night. And this was just in the courtyard. They had.
And there's an ear of corn in there with things that are about military and nuclear and I don't know what.
There's the little green man, which is really funny, in the east. When the
that a
two
Mario
Germanys
brother?
came together, the West Germans really thought they were cool, and they were very kind of cocky and arrogant. So there's all sorts of West German jokes about the West German, who were called Wessis, and then jokes about the East Germans, who were called Ossis. Well, the West Germans, one of the things they wanted to do was change all the traffic lights and make the little red man and the little green man in the East match the ones in the West. And the East Germans just went crazy. They said, we love our own little red man and our little green man, and we're going to keep them. And they did.
Because
and
it's not about communism, right?
You can get T-shirts, and you can get mugs, and you can get buttons, and they all have the little green man and the little red man.
So this is the Eastern Little Green Man?
That's the Eastern little green man,
Fun.
which is much cuter than the Western little green
I
man.
think many people weren't all that happy from the East because I think they were very much afraid of the unknown to belong to.
And the West Germans
West
had a huge
Germany
amount of
and,
money and were coming in and
Yeah.
taking over the factories.
And that was, reunification was about 1990.
89.
The wall came
That's
down
when
in
the wall
89.
came down.
And we first went in 04 and you were there. These pictures are from 2012, 14?
They're
we've
fairly recent,
we've
yeah.
Yeah. I think in 12, I think was the last time I went.
But you can see how clean everything is. Ludwigslust did apply for money. They really got into it early, and whatever needed to be scrubbed was scrubbed and repaired. And it's a resort town now, so they make sure it looks nice.
All of East Germany is just absolutely beautiful now.
It's more beautiful than West Germany because West Germany did not have this huge input of money, so that, like you went to Mannheim looks kind of shabby and dirty.
Right.
And then you go over to the east and it's all sparkling and new, except for some of those buildings which they haven't done yet.
And here you have a Euro shop,
This is just kind of a dollar store.
dollar store.
There you
Oops.
are.
What is that? That was our.
You have you're raising a glass, it appears.
Well, yeah.
That was in the courtyard of City Hall again. See the
that's
posters
right.
in the
That's
backyard?
when we arrived.
I see
think
Larry.
the
Is
first
that the
meeting we
mayor?
had. That's the mayor, yes.
That's the Burgermeister in the
Yeah.
blue shirt. And they're
Peter
toasting
is
us.
the one in the orange shirt.
And I'll bet you're toasting back.
Oh, we toasted, yes. It was not as much as when the Russians were there that time,
Oh, and
because the
here's
Russians
our-
kept feeding the Germans vodka.
This was our going away party in the little village that the Burgermeister lives in. And one of his friends shot this boar. And they roasted
us
it
in our honor.
and then brought it in. It was quite a sight to see. It was beautiful.
And
there were
tasted
leftovers.
wonderful.
There were many
there
leftovers,
were.
yes.
It was a good party. Here's people at the party. There's Peter. And the guy in the blue shirt.
I don't know, that was one of the
We gave him
local-
our T-shirt. That's our T-shirt. He must have been
Hang on.
the host for
And
Larry and
there's-
Marcy, maybe. There's the fireman.
And I found just a few pictures to show that they do come visit us too.
They do, yes.
So there's our mayor, Hopkins, Dwayne Hopkins, and some
there's
city
my
staff,
daughter.
and
My daughter is up there.
I didn't mention your daughter. Tell us who your daughter is.
Stephanie Romanoli. She works for the city.
And she's the human resources
Resource
professional
director.
and has been for
20-some
a
years
long
now.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, I forget what year that was. It was several years
That
ago.
was the first delegation that came over from Germany.
No, that was the
No, I'm
second.
sorry, that was the second one.
No, that
Second
was
one, yes.
because a
Greg
friend of ours.
Monsager's in the picture.
A friend of ours from book club named Susan Murphy, who lives up in the Quad Cities, had worked at John Deere. And we did the tour of the factory, and then she took us to the headquarters, and that was at the headquarters. If you haven't been,
In Moline.
yeah, in John Deere headquarters, it's fabulous. And then she took us to the country club for lunch, where they have the John Deere classics. So the Germans were incredibly impressed by the John Deere morning. You can see. This is in the basement of the headquarters for John Deere.
That's quite a gallery. That's a good place to take our
This
visitors.
is your house.
That's my house.
And we're coming to the end of the pictures, but they do come to visit, and we do our best to be good hosts too. We like to eat and socialize as a group. We do sometimes even when we don't have
Well,
company.
eating is
Yeah,
always
we-
important, no matter where you go.
We have the Christmas party and the summer picnic and the
Oh, this is,
spring dinner.
And this lady on the left, she was here last year with.
Well, her daughter had stayed with
she
you.
stayed with me for I think 6 weeks or so, and they came to visit.
There's, again, that was that same party. What was the daughter
I'm trying to think of-
researching in Muscatine?
She was deciding which what she wanted to study.
Have we had any students from there at our high school or college?
No, I don't think
she
so.
was. Well, we had
Oh, Alex.
Alex. You
But he
had
didn't
him.
go to school here, did he?
No, he's still a student.
He was interesting. Yeah, it is a gorgeous city. The people are incredibly hospitable. I recommend everybody go to Germany and have wild boar and drink beer and eat bread.
And let's say a little more about how it is to travel with Sister Cities. You talked about customizing the trip to go places that relate to people professionally. and
Right, depending on who signs up for
We
the
have
trip.
lifelong friendships going on here.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, when Regina was here, she was a social worker, and we went down to the Medical Arts Building and interviewed some social workers there. It was just her and me. What other things did we do? Everybody went somewhere that was
Yeah, and we kind
appropriate
of
to
break
them.
it up, to spend time with whatever somebody else wants to do. We have the daily
So
tours.
you mentioned we have folks going over in summer 2017, and is there a plan for next year? Are we inviting
Well-
Germans to come
Well,
here?
no.
or-
In fact, I just got a letter from the mayor in Ludwigslust, and they are planning to have a youth meeting with their sister cities from Russia and Ahrensburg, and they have invited us to come. And this is just going to be in the beginning. We'll be in July for 2 weeks, and they would like to have
Of
young
thi-
people.
of this year?
No, next year.
Oh, good.
Between 14 to 18 years old for 14 days, and one Begleitperson. Escort.
Chaperone.
Chaperone. So that's just in the beginning.
So we have some time to plan and
Absolutely.
promote. And,
Yes.
We're
and,
thinking of maybe doing it with Key Club kids. They're going to be the first to be invited.
Good.
But then it will be open to any
And the
student.
Key Club is our Sister Cities partnership with the Kiwanis organization.
Right. And there will be youth from Spain, Austria, Estonia, Russia, Muscatine, and Germany. So it should be really, and they
Wonderful.
want between, let's see, what did you say, between six young people from each sister city who would like to invite.
We'll have to keep this program going and have people in for a rematch. We'll
Right.
revisit Ludwigslust.
Sounds like a plan.
And
And they're very interested in promoting the young generation, especially students, because we are getting a little older in
me
this
too,
group.
as I've done several of these programs now, we keep showing pictures of what look like old people. Some of us have been doing this for a long time.
Right, yeah. But it's I spent my lifetime, most of my lifetime in the travel industry, and have been able to travel quite a bit. But this way is the real way to travel. is to meet people face to face, get to know the culture, get to know the
Stay in their homes.
and stay in their homes. You know, it's just
Well,
marvelous.
I was a teacher, and I never would have taken them on, 10 days in 6 different cities. That just was not the way I thought was appropriate for kids to travel. This is the way kids should travel.
is
They
the
should
way.
go, stay in a home, go to school, go to church, learn how to interact with unfamiliar customs.
So let's wrap it up for this time.
Okay.
This is the way to travel,
Absolutely.
and there's more to come.
Let's hope so.
And I hope that before we have to send that delegation next summer, this program will have been in reruns on local Channel 9, cable TV, and we, Muscatine Sister Cities, will have started our YouTube channel by then, so our friends from around the world can watch us
see it. Oh, that would be wonderful.
anytime from anywhere.
Great.
Don't criticize, wait a minute, that's not the hospital.
That's not that place. That's not that person. So thank you again, Kristine Conlon, Ingrid Rowe. I'm Dan Clark for Muscatine Sister Cities Association. Thank you for watching.